great week, and we hope the weather holds out for at least another 6 days, I guess, because we got the Cereal Festival happening this weekend. And to tell us all about it, we've got a couple of people in the studio right now. First of all, the interim festival manager at the Battle Creek Cereal Festival, Kimberley Holley. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you again.
Great to see you.
I can't believe it's that time already.
You and me both?
Yeah, I guess it creeps up on you, huh? And we're also honored today to have the Grand Marshal of the Parade, Paul Makoski, well, I almost said formerly with the Calhoun County Health Department, Paul. You're not quite all the way out yet.
Not quite. It's a pseudo-retirement here, at least until the end of this month.
How long were you at the Calhoun County Health Department?
Well, as I said earlier, I'm not counting, but about 31 years, 2 months.
You probably could tell us how many days, too. Wow, but they've got you sticking around doing a little contract work to fill in right now?
That is correct, yeah. We still have a acting health officer, and we don't have a replacement for that person, nor have they started looking for a replacement for me yet.
What does the health officer do?
Well, that's the person who's in charge of all the programs that the health department offers. So they're the ones that have most of the headaches. My job was basically to create the headaches, to give him something to do or her something to
do. What when you say all of the various health programs down there, what are they?
That would be there's the WIC program, there's the school nursing program, there's the clinic nursing program, there's the health education program, there's environmental health, which is what I'm responsible for. And then, of course, all the administrative things such as finance and staffing and so on and so forth.
There's a lot to it, isn't there?
There is. Basically, we try to keep everybody healthy without them knowing it.
And, of course, just like anywhere else, you're always up against budget tightening and everything else. I imagine it's pretty hard to keep fully staffed, just like it is anywhere else.
It is to a degree, although in the division that I'm responsible for, a number of years ago, our newbie, our brand new youngest one, had been there just over 25 years. And so we have pretty good retention. You have to have the right personality to be in a job like that. But once you find it's a good fit, people tend to stay for quite a while. It's a relatively small profession, but if we do our job, nobody knows actually we're there, which is part of the challenge.
Well, I know that most of the dealings that I've personally had with the health department in the last, 28 years here has been with Ryan and the folks in environmental quality because of water sampling.
Yes, exactly. We one of the programs in our department is the well program, and that's water testing, installation of water wells, contamination of water wells. We have instances where there's a leak of an underground fuel tank or a spill or something, and those have to be monitored. And right now we're in the process of doing long-term monitoring for the oil spill. We've selected some wells that if anything was going to happen, it would happen at these wells. And so for the next number of years, we're just going to keep a close eye on that.
Mm-hmm.
But Ryan also takes care of doing our plan review, because every new food service facility that is built, before it's built, we go through all the blueprints to make sure everything is fine so that when it finally opens doors, there are no problems.
Anything been spotted so far in, the oil spill monitoring?
No, actually, I'm very happy to say it's more of a precaution. And since it was a unprecedented event, there was really nothing to go back on as far as, well, we should be doing this or we should be doing that. So just to do due diligence, we're going to just be monitoring all those places that we think something might possibly happen if that was the case.
We have our own well here at WBCK, which kind of rare, I think, for this day and age. A lot of people hooked up to city water, and for one reason or another, we haven't. So we've had to monitor. And what I'm finding out is a lot of people in this neighborhood are having arsenic problems, and
Yes.
they're
Mhm.
monitoring.
That's one of those issues that environmental health and the health officer would be taking care of. And in this case, the neighborhood just off of Columbia, that arsenic problem was caused by naturally occurring arsenic in the soil. And it was found during routine monitoring. And then we expanded our search a little bit to see where else it might be. Found that we have a neighborhood of about 150 homes sitting right on top of a high arsenic area. And right now there's discussion of whether those residents would like to have municipal water or not. That's their choice.
Yeah, and the choice is a rather expensive filtering system.
The filtering system isn't really a great idea. Number one, it's the one that's most common is reverse osmosis, and that's considered a point of use kind of treatment, which means that you have one faucet, typically the kitchen sink, that provides you with this treated water. But in order to get 1 gallon of treated water, you need to waste 10 gallons. So you're, wasting 10 gallons to get 1 gallon. And so it's not practical to use it for all the sinks in a home. Other possibilities for their treatment, of course, would be to use bottled water, or, our best option for people would be to go with a municipal supply, which takes care of it long term. But again, you've got the expense, for years and years to have municipal water hooked up.
Sure, but then you don't have to be, fooling around with plumbing in your house and, for your pump and having that thing checked or replaced and water softener.
Sure.
So, there are two sides to that. But the arsenic, and you say high levels of arsenic, wasn't considered high before, and then the federal government raised the threshold or lowered it.
They tend to do that from time to time. A number of years ago, the safe limit was 50 parts per million. And then what they did is they lowered it to 10. So everything that previously was fine is no longer fine. And then, of course, we try to keep track of who's got what in their water and then deal with it accordingly. But yeah, and they are talking about lowering that limit again. And at this point in time, that'll be somebody else's issue.
Yeah, Paul Makoski's retired from the Calhoun County Health Department. Almost. Still kind of hanging around, for the rest of this month. Kind of help out with certain areas. But he is going to be the Grand Marshal of the Cereal Parade. What are they making you do?
Well, I'm hoping there's going to be a fancy hat, maybe some cash compensation. But actually, I'm very happy just to do it, just for the to help out the very good event. And of course, I've been involved in that cereal festival for probably over 25 years with the health department, and I've seen it grow and evolve and such. And it's really a pretty cool event. So just being part of it is an honor right there.
What have you had to do in terms of monitoring with the health department for a festival like this?
Well, when you have, several tens of thousands of people come to breakfast, of course, there's the issue with food safety, food handling, foodborne illness, restrooms, hand washing. From time to time, there's been animals. There's been all kinds of odds and ends. What kind of hoses are used to hook up the water? How many porta-johns do you have? And I'm happy to say that after all these years, we have not had a single complaint of foodborne illness. And I think that goes, to say a lot about the volunteers and the quality of the committee, that they put that as, a number one priority. And it shows. It's a very good event.
And it probably helps that we don't have a sausage festival. And
yeah, that would be good. Or a sushi festival.
Yeah,
that would be bad. Yeah.
About the worst thing that I could think of with a cereal festival is that sometimes when it's really hot and kids are spilling milk in the street, you don't want to be downtown about 5 o'clock that afternoon, because that stuff gets pretty ripe by then.
Yeah, it does. But, luckily there's, a cleanup committee of dedicated people that'll be helping with that. And of course, I guess we're still looking for people for that as well. So if anybody would like to come and help close the event as well as open the event, I'm sure Kimberly would be more than interested.
And we'll get the information on that when we come back in just a little bit and have Kimberly tell us all about this year's Cereal Festival and Cereal Parade. We're talking with the Grand Marshal, Paul Makoski, and Kimberley Holley, the interim festival manager, and we'll be right back. We're talking Cereal Fest, and Kimberley Holley is with us. She's the interim festival manager. Now, weren't you the interim festival manager last year, too?
Yes, I was. Somehow I've got a one-year extension. So
Now, Paul Makoski is the Grand Marshal this year, recently retired from the Calhoun County Health Department, and sort of the interim environmental services guy right now helping out. Is that going to be the same kind of deal? You're going to be the interim guy for 2, 3, 4 years?
Well, I don't think so. I think they put an end date on that contract, so I think we'll stick there. I need to fully experience retirement. I haven't quite gotten there yet.
I guess not. No, but that's pretty common this day and age. A lot of people retire and then they can't really retire because they're still needed. But hopefully soon you'll be out there enjoying your retirement. But and you, I guess, could start this weekend with the Cereal Festival. The parade, first of all,
Yes.
Friday night. Give us the lowdown on that.
kicks off at 6 o'clock. Goes right through downtown Battle Creek on West Michigan Avenue between United Way Drive, and it ends at Commerce Point.
Okay.
And we have just about 50 floats or entry
Wow.
entries this year, so we're pretty excited.
That should be great, yeah. We were talking about parades a little bit and why we don't have a Memorial Day parade in town here. And we kind of narrowed it down to two things. One, we've got our Cereal Festival parade right afterwards, and that's an awful lot to ask people to prepare, for two parades. But I think the big reason is our national cemetery was designated as such around, I think, 1981. And so everything kind of shifted out there in terms of the veterans because, how many communities have a national cemetery in their backyard?
Right.
And so I think that's probably what happened. So we've got our Cereal Festival parade Friday night, and then Saturday morning, world's longest breakfast table. What time should we come down there?
I'd come in at 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
We cram a lot into a short amount of time. And it's great from beginning to end, so I wouldn't want to miss a thing.
I think I've missed one in the last 28 years. 8 o'clock is a great time to be there.
Yes.
9 o'clock's pretty cool. About 9:30, it starts getting really busy.
Yep.
And warming up. And it's all said and done?
At noon.
At noon.
Yes.
Okay, so 8 to noon.
Yep.
Come down, get free cereal.
Yes.
Now they pour the cereal in bowls on the tables, and then you add your milk. People come around. Is that how they do it this year?
Nope.
Oh, it's not. No,
Yeah,
that's how they used to do it.
There were a few health department things that we had to switch around, but I'll let Kimberly explain.
All right, so how do we do it?
So you're served now. So our volunteers take care of that for everyone. So they pour the cereal and the milk. So that.
Add a serving area?
Yes.
And then you take it and go?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Because that's less milk spillage like what I was referring to earlier.
Yep. And safer food handling as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And what all are they going to have for breakfast?
Primarily a cereal breakfast, so it'll be
Yeah.
served from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. So we stop serving breakfast at 11. And that also includes juice, apple or orange juice.
And how about entertainment?
Oh, my goodness. So we have a variety of this year. We have Martilla Sanders and GQ. That's blues-oriented, right at 8 a.m. We've got Black Sheep, which is more of a jazz fusion hip-hop group. They performed last year, and they were really popular. And then we cap things off at 11 with Typo, which is a top 40 band. And in between that, in between acts, we have Zumba with Debbie Martz, to keep people moving after they eat all that cereal.
Yeah, that's always fun. A lot of energy in that.
Yeah, yep.
And
Now, while all that's going on, we also have Detroit Circus aerial performers from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m.
Oh, wow. Where?
Yeah. They'll be right across from McCamley Park. Cool Center has additional parking.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be the old sports page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They'll be right there.
Now it's a real nice-looking lot.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm glad we're taking advantage of that.
We are.
That's great. What else for special attractions?
Lots for kids. We have our kids zone. And we have children's games that are hosted by Endeavor Charter Academy. We have huge inflatables. We also have a fastball game. The Battle Creek Assassins will do skills and drills with kids. New this year, Battle Creek Regional History Museum will be offering free train rides, and they'll also have a static display.
When you say train rides, what do you mean?
So it's actually a motorized train, smaller train with cars.
Like a tram?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, that they'll be able to take kids on a little short jaunt, and that'll be set up in the Math and Science Center parking lot.
Well, that's neat.
That is neat. That's free.
Yeah.
Thanks to post-consumer brands.
And you can get caricatures of yourselves and your loved ones drawn?
Yes, and thanks to sponsorship, we're able to offer those free as well. So that'll be first come, first serve.
And what I love is that park just seems to be so serene and laid out. Once you get all the different vendors and exhibitors in there, it's a neat place.
It really is. It really is. It's a very nice park. Great for festivals like this. But we fill it up. We fill it up. We've got over 50 vendors, new and returning. So we're pretty excited. We've got a lot to offer.
Can't wait to get down and talk to some of them and check some of it out. It's always a lot of fun at the world's longest breakfast table. I guess we could say corner of Washington and Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't miss it.
Exactly.
All right. Kimberly, Paul, thanks for joining us today. And we'll see you Friday and Saturday at the Cereal Festival Parade and Cereal Festival.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.